going on, guys? Welcome to the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman. Coming up on today's show, we're going to be answering questions from you guys as a part of our weekly live shows we do every single Wednesday. It is my favorite part of this job, where I get to answer questions directly from Vikings fans on the latest topics around your football team. But before we dive into that, I actually got a challenge from my bosses. They want me to up my Twitter game, and I kind of agree with them. I want to get more active on Twitter, so they challenged me to hit 1,000 followers on Twitter. That is my handle right there, at Pat Sieps. If you guys could help me out, follow me on Twitter. Link for that is in the comments section and description of today's show. I'll give you guys a follow back right away. So if you guys could, link for that, comment section and description. The handle is at Pat Sieps. I'll be tweeting about the Vikings all year long. But I do want to start off today's show with this question coming in, or not a question, but a take coming in from Scaperoni, sending a super chat, so we appreciate you. But we were talking about a potential trade for the Vikings with the Washington Commanders. And he said, I don't see the Vikings being able to pull the trigger on giving away that many, or giving away that big of a trade with so many first-round picks, even though it makes sense. So I will pull up the trade that we are breaking down with them heading up, or with them trading up with the Commanders, where it would be the Vikings giving up 4 first-round picks. Picks 11, picks 23, and future first-round picks in 25 and 26. Now, yes, this is a haul, but I've said this countless times. What if Drake May ends up being Justin Herbert, Josh Allen? What if he is that good? What are we saying about this football team heading into next season? Let's just say we take May. He ends up playing the last 10 games of the season, and we're like, holy shit, we got the next C.J. Stroud, Herbert, whatever one of these young quarterbacks you want to choose. We're talking about the Vikings legitimately being a Super Bowl contender this season. So I understand it's a lot. 4 first-round picks is nothing to joke around about, but I would do it. I would 100% pull the trigger on this. I would do it. I know a lot of you guys probably wouldn't, but I would do it. I think it would really end up working out for the Minnesota Vikings. But we do have a first-time super chatter coming in here midway through our live show. My man Derek the Kid saying JD5 is our guy. Trust me, we will find a way to get him. Well, Derek the Kid, I think the Vikings might have to trade up to 2 because I think the Commanders really like him. I think the Patriots really like him. And if you want to kind of ensure yourself to get the past Heisman winner in college football, you may need to trade up to number 2. So Derek the Kid, I'll ask you this, and anybody else watching today's video. Would you trade that haul of 4 first-round picks to get your guy? If you guys are watching right now, whether you're a Drake May guy, Jayden Daniels guy, J.J. McCarthy guy, would you trade 4 first-round picks to go get them? Let me know your thoughts down below. But Derek the Kid, I think no matter what, I think the second-best quarterback in this year's class would be whoever the Vikings end up selecting. I really do believe it. You're going to give them, and I've said this so many times, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but, you got 2 wide receivers, 2 tackles, young offensive head coach, Aaron Jones, a great coaching staff with Brian Flores on that side of the football. So, Derek the Kid, I appreciate you supporting the show. Jayden Daniels is my third option out of May, McCarthy, and obviously himself, but, hey, man, if the Vikings would end up getting him, I would absolutely love it. Great segue coming in right now from my man Roger Bong, saying, what if we give up 4 first and he is a bust? QBs are so hit and miss. Roger, great question. And my answer to this would be, would you guys all agree that the Vikings are stuck in purgatory right now? Where they're not good enough to go compete for a Super Bowl, they're also not bad enough to just be in the top 5 and just naturally take a quarterback that high. Well, let's say this. Let's say Drake May's a bust. Vikings do send up that offer. They give away next year's first and the year after that, and both first this year. Okay, next year, are we really going to call Drake May a bust at the end of this season? Probably not. End of next year, are we going to fully call him a bust heading into the 26th draft? Maybe, but let's just say he is a bust. And then the following year, that 27 draft, and he is terrible, and with the Vikings giving up that haul, they'll probably be a really bad football team, where then you're just back on the clock, potentially top 5 of that 2027 NFL draft. I understand. It is a lot. But there is no reward without risk. And if you want to be a great team in the NFL, I'm not talking win a division one year. I'm not talking compete for a Super Bowl one season. If Drake May ends up hitting, the Vikings will be competing for Super Bowls for at least the next 10 seasons. I want everybody to imagine this feeling. Heading into every year, and we got Josh Allen. We got Justin Herbert. I think it would end up working out. But Roger, great point. I agree with you. But I think it would be worth it. I think it would 100% be worth it. But next question coming in here from Rebel Viking, as he's saying, do you think this QB talk is a smokescreen to grab the best CB, D tackle, or a wide receiver 3? Possibly. I mean, the only people that truly know what's going on, the only people that truly know what the Vikings' plan is probably Kwesi and a couple people really close to him. It could all be a smokescreen, and maybe the Vikings are like, hey, Sam Darnold's our guy, and we got that extra first-round pick from the Texans because we want to get one of the best cornerbacks, maybe a Quinion Mitchell, and then maybe get a Jerzon Newton at 23. Could definitely be the case, but do I think it's a smokescreen? Probably not. I think the Vikings are all in on getting a quarterback, but hey, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Rebel Viking, I'm going to go back-to-back for you real quick. He says, I think May or McCarthy fits KOC's system the best. I don't know why people are so down on Bo Nix. Any other year, Nix would be drafted higher. I agree with that last point you just made. Any other year, Bo Nix is probably going first round, no doubt. My only concern with Bo Nix, if you go look, and this is a nerd stat, but if you go look at his average depth of target on his throws this past season, it's an average of 9 yards. A lot of his throws in that Oregon offense were behind the line of scrimmage, where he's getting the ball out quick to his playmakers. And the thing is with Nix, he's 23, turning 24 years old. I think a lot of people look at him and maybe he's like, oh, he's already close to his ceiling. The thing is with Nix is what's his potential? What's his best case scenario? I just don't necessarily. It's probably a top 15 quarterback in that 10 to 15 range. And I think the Vikings are in a position right now to kind of, go all in and, get a guy that they really, really like. And I just don't think Bo Nix is kind of that all in move. But we'll get to more questions from the real ones here in a second. But first, I do want to tell you guys about today's sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. If you guys head to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use promo code CLNS, we're going to match your first deposit up to $100. What is Prize Picks, you may be asking? Well, it's daily fantasy sports, and this is how you play. You're going to choose more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and set a lineup, and you guys can start seeing the cash roll in today. Even though the football season is not here, the action on the hardwood is heating up right now with the NFL playoffs, or with the NBA playoffs just around the corner. So if you guys want to get in on the fun, in on the action with Prize Picks, make sure you guys click that link, prizepicks.com/CLNS, download the app, and when you're making your first deposit, we're going to match it up to $100 if you use promo code CLNS. I'll put that link for you guys in the comment section and description of today's show. Or you guys will get to have some fun. So make sure you guys do get hooked up with Prize Picks today. Link for that in the comment section and description of today's show. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. It is Prize Picks. But Mark was coming in with a $10 super chat saying, go for it. Hey, if you know, you know. Mark, we'll get to that after the show, and we will take that shot as he's showing love on our weekly live show. I appreciate it. But Skull Cards coming in saying, what do you think of Jordan Travis? Also, do you think we should trade for Pat Surtain? Okay, interesting one here. I think Pat Surtain would go for maybe too much. And with the Vikings, where the Vikings are at right now, I just don't necessarily think that's the best call for them. I think if you're going to use any draft capital, it's going to be the trade up for a quarterback. I think Pat Surtain's a great player. He's one of the best cornerbacks we have in the National Football League, and it makes a lot of sense. I get your thought process. Vikings with a need at corner, go trade for Surtain. You got a great cornerback room then. But in terms of Jordan Travis, I like him. I think his intangibles, him as a leader, like when I hear him talk, like I'm all in on that guy. Just he's coming off that torn ACL. He's a little older, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Jordan Travis. Hey, take a flyer on him. Let's just say the Vikings do go BPA at 11 and 23. Give me a Spencer Rattler or a Jordan Travis in like the late rounds. I would be all in. Brian Sanchez saying honest opinion on Jefferson. Seemed after his injury last year, seemed like he was scared to get hurt overplaying 100%. Am I concerned about Jefferson? No. I think Jefferson, like, think about this, guys. When he came back, he had Nick Mullins, Josh Dobbs throwing him the football. Like, I think a little bit of this was, and I'm not saying Jefferson wasn't going fully 100%. Like, I think he does. You know, you're not that great at anything you do. Like, whether you're an accountant, you know, tax guy, whatever it may be, whatever you do in life, like plumber, no matter what it is, like, if you're great and you're one of the best in the world at it, you give it 110% every single time, you know, you're hitting your shift or you're hitting out there on the football field. So I'm not worried about Jefferson, and that's why I'm always in the camp that I am not trading him for anything. Tornado 34 is saying, do you believe the Commanders need the capital compared to one good quarterback? 110%. Tornado. This was 5 reasons why I actually said the Commanders would say yes to trading down. Their roster isn't ready. I just don't think they're that good of a team for a rookie quarterback to step in there. Also, number 2, they could take a guy at 11 or 23 if they do get a trade with the Minnesota Vikings. Their staff could also be fired. Like, if they go all in, new GM, new head coach, new coaching staff, you go all in on Drake May or Jayden Daniels, and he doesn't work out, I mean, that's definitely something they're considering. And then also these two. What if the Vikings send them, like I said, 4 first-round picks? And, you know, they're definitely going to have to consider it because we did get this report that the Commanders don't love any of the quarterbacks, hence why they are meeting with all of them this week. Again, a week before the draft. And with the number 1 pick for sure being Caleb Williams, like, I don't know. I'm just really skeptical if the Commanders really, you know, love any of these QBs in this year's class. But, hey, again, guys, nobody knows anything, and we're just going to have to wait and see. But if you guys could, as always, make sure you guys have liked the video so far and also hit that sub button. I would really appreciate it. But thank you guys so much for watching today's mailbag where I answer questions from you guys. I appreciate it. So as always, thank you guys so much. Hit that sub button on your way out. And as always, Skol Vikes.